So you're all very welcome to our online breathing space session. Our session today is on the wheel of the earth. My name's Marie, and I'm one half of the Exhale Awakening, and just there on my screen is Sharyn, who's the other half of the Exhale Awakening. And if you've been at an online breathing space before, this one may be a little bit different because we do things a little bit differently. So we are going to breathe with the wheel of the earth. And all our sessions have a very particular shape. We guide you through a number of breath styles. And in this case, it's going to be 3 breath styles. Each breath style opens with some birdsong and finishes with some silence. And the invitation is to engage with the breath styles. Now, if any of the breath styles don't suit you today, if they really don't sit properly with you, then please feel free to go back to your natural breath or to use one of the other styles. The one thing we would ask is that you give everything a go. We have one rule, and our rule is that you are comfortable. Your comfort is first and foremost in what we do. Your physical comfort, your mental and emotional comfort, yes. However, it's called breath work for a reason. And sometimes there can be a little bit of discomfort, particularly emotionally, maybe mentally. And the invitation is to sit with that, not to push through it, not to breathe harder so that you can deal with none of that. It's just to sit with it and to observe it. And if it gets to a point where it is too much, just moving back from it back to your natural breath rhythm. There are no contraindications for what we do because we'll invite you to breathe gently. However, I suppose the one thing is please don't get up quickly, because when we do any of these breath practices, we can be lightheaded, we can be slightly dizzy. So if you do have to get up, just taking a couple of moments to bring your breath back to normal and allowing any effects to pass before you get up. You can do this seated, you can do it lying down. Just make sure that if you are seated, that you're properly supported and obviously are comfortable. And equally, if you're lying down, that you're not lying on something that's too high, that'll affect the breath entering and leaving your body. So yeah, get yourself comfortable and we will begin.
So we're going to start just bringing you into awareness of yourself and awareness of your breath. And we're going to do that just with my voice. So I invite you to get yourself comfortable in the way that you are going to be breathing. You've got no need now to kind of pay attention to anything other really than our voices. So whether you're deciding to breathe seated or lying down, get now into your breathing position. And just for the moment, I'm just going to bring some awareness, some noticing to the session. So you don't need to change anything, but you'll probably find just by nature of the fact that you're noticing that you'll want to change things a little bit. So first of all, let's become aware of your body. So how comfortable are you on the surface that you are supported by? Do you need to make any adjustments? Do you need to have a blanket handy or layers available to take clothing on or off if your temperature changes? Just notice, are you warm enough? Are you cool enough? Are you supported? Is your back supported, your neck? And just make any adjustments that you feel like you need to make so that your body is comfortable. And then notice your mind. Notice how quickly your mind is moving. And again, we're not judging here or asking you to make any changes. We're just asking you to notice. Maybe there's something going on in your mind that's looping around. Maybe the thoughts are moving and just passing through without you holding on to them. Maybe a mix of both or somewhere in between. And just be aware of that. Just notice. And then be aware of how you're feeling. And sometimes we can't pinpoint how we are feeling. We can't describe it. It's just a sense that we have. And that's okay. There's no stress to put a word to it unless one comes to mind. And if one comes to mind, just be aware and just notice. And then finally, of course, the reason why we are here, the breath. Just notice the breath entering and exiting your body. Are you breathing through your nose or through your mouth? We're in the season of stuffy noses. Maybe it's not possible for you to breathe easily through your nose. But if you are breathing through your mouth and you can breathe through your nose, you might want to try that. See how that feels. Feeling the sensation of the breath entering and exiting your body. Noticing your body moving on the surface. Notice that sometimes when you're inhaling, other parts of your body come in contact. And when you're exhaling, little spaces appear around your body. And notice the depth that the breath is landing in your body. Can you sense your rib cage expanding at the bottom, your ribs opening up? Can you sense your belly moving? Or is your breath mostly in your top chest? And again, there's no judgment in this. This is just us noticing your natural breath. Notice if your eyes are open or closed. And how you feel about that, whether you feel like you want to close them to go within, or whether you feel like you like them open and you want to be aware of your surroundings. And all of those things are perfectly okay. And just take a couple of breaths now, really being aware of all of those things. I've said lots of things, right? But just have 2 or 3 breaths now, just being aware of all of those things.
And just keeping your focus on your breath. I'm going to take you through the session today. So we're going to breathe with the wheel of earth. And the earth beneath you isn't just one thing. There's 3 kingdoms held together, breathing together. And you belong to all of them and they belong to you. We're going to breathe with the human kingdom, the initiators, the spark. We were given the gift of consciousness, so the ability to begin things. And we're going to breathe with the mineral kingdom, because you're also stone, ancient bedrock. The mountains that measure time, not in minutes, but in millennia. Slow changing, stable ground, the crust of the earth. It doesn't rush. And your bones remember this. And your body knows what it is to hold and to be the foundation that doesn't move. And we're also going to breathe with the plant kingdom, the green growing things, because you're the green growing things as well. the constant moving and shifting, the tiny small changes that happen in the dark and the silence. Always becoming, never stuck. Most of the change you can't even see, but it's always happening. Always. And you're not separate from the earth. You are the earth, breathing, choosing, holding, and becoming. And we're going to let the breath remember what the mind may have forgotten. The earth moves slowly, and the invitation is for you to do the same. To move slowly, there's no rush. Just gently and slowly breathing. There's nowhere to go. Just to be here and just to breathe. And that's what the wheel remembers.
And we're going to breathe with each one of those kingdoms today. And we'll introduce a different breath work every time, and the bird song will help you to settle into that breath style before we have some music to carry you on your own journey. And the first breath style that we're going to introduce is coherence breathing. The breath where we balance the inhale with the exhale. And you can choose how you monitor that balance. You can intend for your body to do that naturally. And you can just watch the inhale and the exhale. Or you can count. And you might count silently in your head. You might whisper the numbers yourself. Or you might count with your body. You might bring each finger to your thumb, counting 1, 2, 3, 4. Or some other method that works for you to keep balance. Maybe the music might help you in that regard. So let's practice. And I'm going to count to 4. But do allow yourself to breathe with 3 or 2, or even 5 or 6, if 4 doesn't feel good. This is just a test for you to see where your breath feels, how your breath feels today. So as the music begins, inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. And exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. And exhale, 2, 3, 4. Now you find your rhythm. Let your body settle into that harmonic breathing. And as you begin to find your own rhythm, I just invite you to allow your attention to drift to the human kingdom, humankind, the one that chooses. We have that power of choice. We can initiate, we can invent. We begin again and again. And we invite that reflection on those beginnings, not beginnings that we force, but beginnings that we allow, that we become aware of, that we open up to gently like a flower. And in this breath, we just invite you to be present with your humanity. To recognize the quiet courage that has brought you to the place where you are now. The place where you all are already enough. In fact, you are more than enough. Let the breath work with you so that you can be that person who just arrives, just allows. A gentle inhale and exhale. Letting your instincts, your intuition, and your inspiration work together. Inhale and exhale as one. And shortly the music is going to come to a gentle fade, and we'll introduce and welcome the first silence of the breathwork. And you can let your breath return to its natural rhythm, or you can continue breathing with the balanced breath. You choose.
And as the birdsong brings the silence to a close, taking a moment to reflect on that silence and how it felt. And knowing that whatever way it felt, it was perfect. And in our next segment, we're going to breathe with the mineral kingdom, with the rocks and the stones. So I'm going to invite you to bring some structure to your breath. So I'm going to invite you to breathe in a rectangular pattern and finding the size of the rectangle that suits you right now. And if that rectangle becomes a square, that's absolutely fine as well. And just to get us started, we're going to breathe in 2 rectangles, where we're going to breathe in for 4. We're going to hold our breath for just 2, breathe out for 4, and hold our breath for another 2. And we're going to do that twice just to introduce you to the breath, but also to let you feel into maybe what's going to suit you right now. So when you exhale again, just pausing for a second. And then inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2. And you continue finding your own size. And if your rectangle isn't a perfect rectangle, that's fine too. But bringing structure to your breath. Breathing slowly, breathing softly. Mountains don't rush. Feeling the edges of the breath, solid and steady. As you find your rhythm, allowing your body to remember what it is to be bedrock. Breathing in the ancient, holding the enduring, and breathing out what rushes, and holding the patient solid ground. Noticing the 4 corners of this breath. 4 sides like standing stones marking sacred ground. You're not required to shift or to adapt here, just to be solid and present. And the energy here is fixed energy, the kind that doesn't change on a whim, the kind that holds steady through seasons, through centuries. Let your bones remember they're made of the same calcium as the limestone cliffs. Letting go of the pattern now and softening the edges and letting the structure support you in the silence.
And as the birdsong brings the silence to a gentle close, just reflecting on how it feels to spend some time in silence. Maybe this is something that you practice regularly and you could settle in without consideration. Or maybe it's not normal, natural for you and it felt a little strange. And there's lots of options in between all of that too. And for our next breath segment, I'm going to invite you back to where we started, to being aware of your body, of your mind, of your emotions, and of your breath. And if you want to bring in a breath style that we've used already, the coherence or the rectangle, then fine, you go right ahead. But actually, just allowing and noticing your natural breath is really valuable. So just choose what works best for you and maybe notice how your natural rhythm has changed from when we started the breath work. We often say perhaps it hasn't changed at all, but I think there's always small, minute changes that happen from minute to minute. And that is the kingdom that we're inviting now, the plank kingdom, where the change that happens, the movement that happens is almost imperceptible. Moment to moment, it seems or can seem like nothing is happening. The growth here is quiet. It's responsive to the environment, to heat, to wet. It's not forced, can't be hurried. In the plant kingdom, nothing blooms on demand. It's just a gentle, subtle dance, call and response between the plants and between the environment. And we invite you to that now. Honor the breath. Honor the subtle movements that happen when you bring awareness to the inhale and the exhale. After the initial burst of energy out of the seed pod, the plant just grows softly and gently, little by little. It's growth that doesn't hurry. It's life that can happen quietly. And you're allowed to unfold too. Just allowing that becoming to happen all on its own, without your intervention. Allow your body to move if you need to stay comfortable, just little gentle movements. There's no need to control this. Just let the breath wander and return. Gentle and slow becoming that happens on its own. We're in the last 20 seconds or so of this breath. I invite you to just gently open and welcome to the silence, allowing it to become whatever it needs to be for you in this moment.
And as the bird song begins for the final time in this session, again taking a moment to reflect on the silence and what that silence held for you. And before we make our way back to what life holds for us after this session, we're going to just take a little time here to allow the strands to weave together. So the spark of humanity, the stone, structure, foundation, and the green becoming. And allowing it all to weave together and just listening and noticing what has come up for you here. Without any need to do anything, though if there is something that supports your integration, feel absolutely free. Maybe that's journaling, and maybe it's just staying in your breathing nest and listening and noticing. We're just going to play a little bit of extra birdsong to give you time to bring it all together. And we still have some time here, so taking your time. There's no rush.
Mm.
There's no need to analyze anything, just allowing what has been remembered to settle. And although the integration will continue beyond this session, our time's coming to a close here. So just finishing what you're doing or what you're thinking, and beginning to bring yourself back into the space where you are. Maybe introducing some gentle movement. Fingers, wrists, toes or ankles, your shoulders, your head and neck. Be stretching or yawning, but being gentle, listening to what your body needs you to do right now. And if your eyes are closed, be thinking about gently blinking them open. And if you're lying down, again, beginning to consider coming back up to sitting. But slowly, come to your side first and take a breath. And then remembering that you're also in a Zoom room with other people. And when it feels right, bringing yourself back to the Zoom room.
And whilst you bring yourself back into the Zoom room, I just want to draw your attention to some notices that we have in the chat box, if that's okay. So if you wanted to contact Breathing Space, then the Breathing Space's email is there at the very top. And if you are interested in facilitator training, then there are 2 links there, one for Breathing Space, where we also teach, but also one for our own training if you wanted to inquire about working with us. Breathing Space have an all-access pass where you get a monthly extended breathwork and access to so many courses and breathworks that you can do in your own time and space. I think that's £20 a month. It might be a little bit more, I'm not sure, but somewhere around there. And if you wanted to work with us again, that's Marie and I, the Exhale Awakening, then our next extended breathwork, our next ticketed event is on the 28th of December, Sunday, the 28th of December. And we'll be going more deeper. It's not very good English, is it? We'll be going deeper into the foundations of the earth, that grounded earth that Marie spoke about in the middle of the session. And we're calling it Rooting to Summit. So you'd be very welcome there. We hold a midweek exhale every Wednesday at 7:30. Now, over the festive period, that's falling on Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve, and we are still holding those sessions. So if you need breathwork support over this festive season, or you just need a pause, never mind support, do bob in and take a pause with us. And then finally, our directory listing is there in the chat. If you have enjoyed this session, we would love to hear from you. And there is a place on our directory there where you can leave a review. And that's all of the notices. So I'm going to stop the recording and